Good morning. I, C.A. Rahul Sureka, Chairman Dhanbad Branch of CIRC of ICI. On behalf of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICAI, welcome all the participants in today's webcast on the team management skills for chartered accountants. I welcome today's resource person, CA Nidhi Malani, and the event enablers from the Dhanbad branch of CIRC of ICI and other present over here. Now I would like to call CA Saurabh Agarwal for the introduction of the speaker.
Hello. Good afternoon to everyone. I, C.A. Saurav Agarwal, Sikasa, Chairman of Dhanbad branch of CIRC. Welcome Ms. Nidhi Malani.
Thank you.
And introduction about our today's speaker. Ms. Nidhi Malani is a chartered accountant by profession. She has worked passionately for improving business process, optimizing cost and implementing automation through data analysis, training, and control dashboard. She has also done diploma in information system audit, and she is a dynamic personality who considers herself as all-time learner. She also runs a YouTube channel under the name of Think 8, which helps business with experts knowledge from different domains. She is a ex PwC and a professional speaker. She is leading Chennai's chapter for a national women-led community called Her Money Talks and Heroine. Thank you.
Thank you, Saurabh. Now I would like to call our resource person, CA Nidhi Malani ma'am, for her deliberations. Welcome, ma'am.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, ma'am.
I'm audible.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. Today is an amazing day to start with, and uh, the topic for the day is team management for chartered accountant firms. I have often heard chartered accountants saying that we are very tired with our team. We don't know how to get the right person in the team. We don't, articles just come and they leave. There is no responsibility at times, and a lot of other issues. At times, the chartered accountants struggle to find the right team members. But I would like all of you to take a pause over here, whoever is thinking this way, that getting the right team or managing the team effectively is a challenge. I would like you to take a pause over here and rethink about it. We all have gone through the articleship stage. We have all gone through our maybe employment stage. And each one of you would be having at least one person in their life for whom, still, if that person calls you up and says that, boss, I have a small work, can you please do it for me? You would say yes to it. You won't ask another question. You won't say a no for the amount that is being paid. You will just say yes, not for not for the reason of for the not for the logical reasons to it, but for the personal bond or the respect which you have for that person. So if you can do it for a person, then it means that it is possible to have to create a team which can do anything for the leader. So why not we ourselves become that leader for whom our team can even die for without even asking a second question? Doesn't it sound interesting? We all know at least one person in our lives for whom we can cross boundaries, we can do anything and everything that is required. So, today I'm going to introduce not frameworks or models, but a few stories which could help you get a different perspective of leadership from what you have been considering it till now. Uh, uh, can I please share my screen? Give me a moment. I'll just share my screen with you. All right. So, a brief introduction of mine has already been given by Saurav sir. So, I would like to go forward and help you to build not just a team, but bonds which last longer than the existence of this team itself. So, what all are the things which we are going to take away for the day is number one, how to foster a collaborative work environment. Number two, how do you really build a high performance team, and not just team, but the bonds which are going to last forever and ever. Coaching and mentoring for leaders and empowering the teams for innovation and ownership. But before that, first let's do a knowledge check. I'm sure you would have heard a lot about these terms called collaboration, cooperation. But do you really know what does it mean by collaboration? Especially when it comes to chartered accountants or finance roles, do you really know what is collaboration? You can write your answers in the question box. What exactly is collaboration for you? See, as if we go by the standard definitions, collaboration in an organization occurs when different teams nurture a shared goal in order to achieve collective success. So there are two key factors for any collaboration to happen, for any team to build. Number one, there has to be a shared goal. And number two, you have to work together to achieve a particular point of success. So the success is also collaborative and the goal is also one. If these two things are happening, then and only then it's a successful collaboration. If we take some practical live examples around us, we can all we can always look forward to the Maruti Suzuki, the epic Maruti Suzuki, which was a collaboration and a great evolution in the lives of an Indian. So Maruti and Suzuki both tied their hands together and they created a new product called Maruti Suzuki. And even now, we adore that product called Maruti Suzuki because of the ample number of benefits it gave to the entire customer diaspora it catered to. Public-private partnership projects are one of the epic example of collaboration and what collaborations can achieve. In respect to ICI itself, ICI and METI have collaborated and they have created CAGPT. I'm sure all of you would have used CAGPT at least once. If not, then immediately after this particular session, you please go ahead and enroll for CAGPT, use it, refine it, and see the changes it brings to you. There is a recent collaboration which happened with ICA and CBSE. In this collaboration, we have also launched, ICEI has also launched Commerce Olympiads, the results of which are about to come soon. There was an amazing collaboration between Boat and Netflix as well, whereby Boat introduced an entire range of their earphones with Netflix icons on it, and Netflix, on the other hand, was promoting Boat. So your collaboration can be for a limited period of time. It can also be for a particular product. But in each of the collaboration, which we are able to see over here on the screen, the common thing is that there is one single objective, and all of these collaborating partners are working together to achieve that success point or that goal. So, why is collaboration important? By now, we would have already understood that why collaboration is so important. Because, number one, it gives you a comprehensive understanding. It can be possible that what Maruti had, the the it had it had a advantage on the costing part of it, and Suzuki had an advantage on the technology part of it. When both of these got combined, you can still see people using Maruti Suzuki because their parts are so easily replaceable at a very cost effective range. Enhanced problem solving. So one single problem could have been solved in a way more better uh, manner. For example, public-private partnerships. It's a classic example how problem solving can be improved and tech adoption can be improved at a in a beautiful manner. Improve tech adoption and innovation. There can be a seamless communication if the collaboration is proper. Increased resource optimization. Resources can be optimized in a way much better manner if we think and if we decide to collaborate. Conflict resolution. Conflict resolution is an obvious outcome of collaboration. So collaboration basically increases the trust in a product, in a brand, in a chartered accountant, in the work they do. So if you are one of the person in your team who is easily able to collaborate, coordinate, and cooperate with the fellow team members. Let's say you are dealing in R2R function, but there are instances whereby you are able to cooperate and coordinate seamlessly with with taxation department or reconciliations department or GST department, then your trust automatically will increase to a next level. Hmm. You will be able to inspire the fellow team members of yours as well. You'll be able to exchange the ideas, the thoughts, and the ideologies. You'll be able to exchange the resources as well. There would be times when you need help or assistance from others. There would be times when others need assistance and help from you. And if you are in a position or if you are having a stature of collaboration, you'll be easily be able to execute that and make lives easier for both the parties, maybe for the entire organization as well. Collaboration also helps in assistance and support. It helps to achieve the success. It promotes sharing and the most important thing, teamwork. So collaboration is one of the most important thing if you really want to build very strong team or manage your team much more effectively. Because if you are not collaborating or you're not having any cross collaborative project between the functions, between different departments, between different projects, or between different resources, you might end up doing double working in a lot of areas. So collaboration also helps you reduce your costs. here is here is a video for you guys, which would help. Uh, Maybe I would skip this video for the timing because the link is not available over here. But this particular picture is something interesting. So, uh, what is that you're able to see in this picture? There is a bunch of kids probably going to school because one of the kid is having a slate. They are on a road. It's raining, but there is only one umbrella. Can you say that this is a team? I'm sure each one of you would be saying a yes to it. They're definitely a team. They're working together. They have the same goal. They are they are working together. They are taking actions together, and they are sharing the resource, the only resource, the only umbrella they're having. They're sharing it together. So does it mean that no one is getting drenched at all? क्या यहाँ पे कोई भी नहीं भीग रहा? मे बी सब भीग रहे हैं, लेकिन सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज क्या है? सबके सर एक अम्ब्रेला के अंदर है। भीगेंगे तो साथ और सूखेंगे तो भी साथ में, लेकिन जाएंगे साथ में एक ही रास्ते पे। वी आर गोइंग टू गो टू वन सिंगल डेस्टिनेशन बट टुगेदर। दैट इज व्हाट अ टीम इज। So the three important factors for a leader to become a leader in the team. If you are a chartered accountant who is into practice and creating a team, if you are in industry and you are creating a team in the organization, so for the people working under you, it becomes your responsibility as a leader. Each one of you is a leader. And as a leader, it becomes your responsibility to protect the heads of each and every team member of yours. It doesn't mean that you should not expose them to explore what they are much capable of, but it only means if at all it comes to their head, if at all it comes to their integrity, you should be the first person to take a stand in their favor. You will be able to manage a team effectively only and only if you are having a stand. I'll tell you one of the instances. So, I was working with an organization and I was in stat audit department at that time. So, we went for the audit. And when we went for the audit, the CFO of that particular entity, that CFO started shouting because there were a few things which were not going right, and he was not able to answer those queries properly. So that CFO started shouting on the article. Now, as a leader of the team, or if you are heading the entire team, then that partner, or even if there is a small team or there is a team which goes there and there is a team lead, it is the responsibility of the team lead to take a stand over there itself. The team leader actually got up, said to the CFO that, sir, we understand that this is the problem, but you cannot shout on our articles in this manner. Once you take a stand for your own team, two things will happen. Number one, the other person would know that you are a team, you're a group, and you cannot, if a dignity has to be maintained if they are talking to you. Your dignity will increase. You will have a better dignity, better integrity, and a better representation in front of the client in a way that boss, this person is a leader and you cannot mess with this person or their team members. Second thing, what will happen is your team member would stand up for you the next time anything happens, anything goes wrong your way. They would be the first one to say that, boss, you are doing wrong, and we cannot let anything go wrong to our boss. So if there is anyone else before you counter the other person, they themselves would counter it. And the next time, if any such instance happens whereby the auditee is shouting or giving some bad remarks or something, the team members themselves will stand up tall and say that, no, you cannot behave with us like this. So the next time you don't have to interfere in between. They will be able to take their stand because you took a stand at the first. What happens if you do not take a stand and you think that if I say something to the client, maybe the client will go off? Or what if I lose my client? What happens next is the client get an impression that if I shout on these people, they won't ask me questions. Okay, so the easiest way to escape from their questioning or their cross questioning or any problem on me, the best way is let us shout on them and things will be sorted. Another thing what will happen is your team member is going to feel bad and extremely bad about being shouted in front of 10 different people by the auditee. The team member is not working for the auditee, but for the auditor. The team member will say, okay, Tata, bye bye. I am not, I'm feeling that the work environment is toxic over here. So I think I should either leave or demand higher. But let me just switch. Or even if the person decided to not switch, they won't be motivated enough to complete your work. They will not be motivated enough. They'll feel like, okay, ABC have to be done. I'll do only ABC. I'm not getting in DEF at all. So that is the umbrella impact. You have to be that umbrella who gives exposure to the rain. You can feel the rain when you are under the umbrella, right? The umbrella is there to protect your head, protect your integrity. A little bit of rain droplets will definitely touch you, but still you will be like in nutshell and 70-80% you will be dry only if you yourself do not wish to go out of the umbrella and get drenched. And the third important fact or the third important characteristic of an umbrella is that umbrella helps you to take a stand. Umbrella stands tall with a purpose. So if you want to lead the team, you have to be that umbrella for your entire team, not just one person, not just two-person, for your entire team. You have to be that umbrella. Moving to the next slide, collaborative work environment. Now, okay, fine. As a chartered accountant or as a team lead, okay, I take a stand. Okay. But what about the internal politics? What is going on in my team? How do I make them collaborate and work together? So that will also get inspired by what you are doing with your colleagues at your level. How do you create a collaborative work environment will get passed on to the team, and the team will also collaborate and work together. There is a trick to raising successful kids by the mother who raised 23andMe CEO Annie Wokiki. Her name is Esther Wokiki, and she raised actually three kids. Okay. And all the three kids are extremely successful, extremely successful. One is the CEO of 23andMe. Another one is the CEO of YouTube, Susan Wojcicki. And the third one is an anthropologist and epidemiologist, Janet Pokiki. Now, definitely there would be something different about this mother that all the three kids are successful, extremely successful. What is that other mothers do not do, which she is doing? And she actually wrote a book about it. She wrote a book about it and she gave that trick to raise successful, extremely successful kids. So trick is nothing but an abbreviation, which expands as T for trust. You have to trust your team members. Once you have given them an assignment, you have to trust, you have to have that faith that if I have given this assignment to this person is going to complete it. You cannot micromanage and expect that your team will work collaboratively. Excuse me. The second part of the trick is respect. You are a chartered accountant. You are a finance professional. You are dealing with critical part of a business, which is numbers, the most critical part of a business. You can become the backbone of the business, or you can become a mistake of the business. Okay. But in any of the scenarios, each one contributing to your work deserves immense respect. You're not dealing with laborers, with unskilled laborers who do not listen if you do not say a few sweet words to them. You're not dealing with them. Even if you're dealing with them, they also deserve respect because they are able to help you achieve a lot of things. But right now, we are talking about finance professionals. Each member of your team, even if they are just BCom graduates, even if they are just 12th pass, even if they are just data entry operators, they deserve respect. Each team member deserves the respect. And respect does not come only by by the way of speaking, but it also comes through actions. When you enter, do you greet each of your team member? Do you greet them with smile, or do you greet them with okay, good morning? Yes, fine, all right. No, you have to greet them with respect, with love, with all the politeness you have in your heart, with all the kindness which you have in your heart. Every single member of the team, every single member of the organization deserves respect. There are many people outside the organization who are dying to get that particular job, but they are not able to get it. So for that reason, you should be respecting them. For the reason they are helping you achieve your targets, you should respect them. For the reason you are a team leader, you should respect them because if there is no team, there is no team leader. For you to become team leader, there has to be a team, and team gets formed by the members. Therefore, each member deserves respect. Third part of the trick is independence. You have to give them certain level of independence. Once you have once you have assigned a task, you can definitely ask for the timelines that I've given you this particular task. By when are you going to give it back to me? Based on priority, you can ask them to reshuffle the task list or the performance list, but don't get into things which hampers their independence or which hampers their way of doing it. You can always make a checklist that you have to pass 10 entries and the 10 entries are going to be in this format. but what time they are passing it, if they are using phone during passing it. If you're getting the work in time using phone, let them just use their phone. They might be using it for some official purpose. Okay. Don't just don't become a watchdog for them. You are a leader, so you should behave like a leader as well. They need a certain level of independence to function and and achieve the goals. So if you reverse, I'll tell you an instance. I was playing with my kid, okay, and there was a letter kept over there, not letter, number. So number 6 was kept over there. Then so number 6 was kept over there. She was standing at the opposite side of mine, and she was repeatedly saying it, 9, mama 9, mama 9, mama 9. I was like, no, Betu, this is 6. She was like, no, it is 9. And I was like, no, it is 6. And then I realized that from her eyes, from her point of view, it is 6 only, it is 9 only. So she is right in a way. Till the time the purpose is to identify the number, if she is able to identify it correctly, if I am able to identify it correctly, and the number is getting identified, till that time, there is no problem at all. We should understand that different people may have different perspectives, but the end goal, the end result should be the same. If your team, like if you are giving independence to your team, if you are giving a target to your team, and they are having a different approach, but the entire purpose or the entire outcome is also getting shifted, then you need an immediate interference. You need to realign them immediately. But until that time, you should and you have to give them an independence so that they believe much more in you. They trust much more in you. Trust is having multiplying effect. Independence same way has a multiplying effect. Respect has a multiplier effect. You give more, you get more. C for the trick is collaboration. Collaboration we've already discussed. Collaboration would mean that you have given a task, okay, but they independently are not able to do the task. So, but you know that who is the one who will be able to help them complete that task. You can make both these people team. So let us say there are two team members, okay, person A and person B in your team. Now B is good at presentations. A is good at number crunching. Okay. If you have to give a presentation, if you have to give, your team has to give a presentation to this to the CFO, ask B and A to work together and you review it. So once you have asked them to work together, they would work together in a much better way because they have to. Now they have to. If and you can always supervise that. Supervising does not mean pinpointing. Okay. And last but not the least element of the trick for successful people, successful teams, successful kids is kindness. This is the topmost factor which can change the entire setup of the trick. You have to be kind enough, generous enough as a leader to create a team which follows you blindly, which can do anything for you. So be kind. Keep kindness as the topmost factor which determines how your team is going to be. There are different levels of collaboration. We were talking about collaboration as an element of trick. There are different levels of collaboration as well. Level number 1 is networking. So you can collaborate when you network with different organizations. So for example, in practice, in a practice kind of setup, if you are good at IDT, you might get into touch with it in a DT event with another person who is too good at DT. You guys vibe together and you start working together in a way that uh, if there is an assignment with respect to DT, you give it to him, and if there is an assignment with respect to IDT, that person gives it to you. Okay, or just knowing that who does what is also collaboration. Okay, so because it will help you collaborate, it will help you join hands together in future. So number one level of collaboration is networking. You have to know first. Okay, in this level, you are aware of the organization. You have to know that what all exists in the market, what all organization exists for which all areas, and loosely defined roles. It's not that 100% like a well-written scope document, but the roles are loosely defined in a networking kind of setup. Little bit of communication is there, and but the decisions are being made independently. Okay. Then there comes a second level of collaboration, which is cooperation. What happens in cooperation is you provide information to each other. Somewhat, there would be somewhat defined roles. There will be a formal communication which would happen. So maybe you are communicating through WhatsApp messages or through emails, but decisions are still being made independently. This is called cooperation. You're providing information to each other. You know what, who is doing what. Then there is a communication as well. Decision making, very important, is independent. The third stage of collaboration is coordination. Coordination is where you share information and resources. The roles are defined. There is a frequent communication because you have to complete uh, that one specific task. And there is some shared decision making because you are completing the task together. So some shared decision making is there. There is a frequent communication and sharing of information and resources is also there. Fourth is coalition. Coalition is more frequently used in terms of politics, whereby we say coalition government, where the ideas and resources are being shared. There is a frequent and prioritized communication, but the decision making is an important factor which distinguishes coordination and coalition. The decision making in coordination is a shared decision making to some extent, but the decision making in coalition is vote basis. All have Each and every component has a vote in the decision making. That is coalition. Last but not the least is collaboration. The fifth level of collaboration is actually where the collaboration becomes a collaboration, whereby the entire collaboration would belong to one system. So, for example, when we talk about ICAI and Meetica collaboration, we see ChatGPT as one system, one single system. There is a frequent communication characterized by trust. Both the entities trust each other. Consensus reached on all decisions, and there should be a consensus. There should be a unanimous decision making on all the decision points. That is what collaboration is. So within your team, if they are working as one strong team, the way the kids were standing under the umbrella, and everyone is in consensus with whatever decisions they are going to take, that is when the real collaboration happens. Now, how do you empower your team? And make a note of it. Your team is not your team. Your team is our team. Once you get into that structure whereby you consider your team as our team, each and every person, each and every single individual in that entire team becomes important. They will automatically get their share of respect when you think it as our team. and you think that everyone is equal to me, they automatically will make you their leader. The leader is not the one who monitors everyone or who makes others work. Leader is the one who leads. Leader is the one who has followers. But to make the followers, you have to follow others. Empowering your team. So, how do you empower your team? How do you make your team stronger? How do you help them in much better way? So, number one, bridging. You have to bridge the gap. Bridge the gap between the team, bridge the gap between the clients, between the team members, okay, between the tasks which you are supposed to execute, and if there is any gap, be the one who bridges that gap. Rationalize. R for rationalize. Rationalizing based on data, and your decision making should be based on logics and data. A, asserting. Asserting is confidence on intuition. So you have at times you have to take a stand, and that is what asserting is. Taking a stand does not mean you're defying the purpose of the entire team. Taking a stand might be based on intuition, taking a stand might be based on logics, might be based on the data which is in front of you. But taking a stand is very important. That is what is going to help your team also to align themselves and start executing the work. Because till the time there are two, three decisions and two, three contrary decisions, and they would be not they would not be able to channelize their energy in one place. They would be few people would be channelizing their energy in one way, few people would be doing it another way, few people would be doing it another way. So it's very important for you to assert that what you want them to do, because the more clear you are, the more clear is your team going to be. I for inspiring. So you have to have shared purposes and motivation which inspires your team. And for negotiating. Compromise on win-win situations. Okay, it's okay to negotiate. It's completely okay to negotiate. Negotiating does not mean that you are eating someone else's share. Negotiating means that you are trying to have a win-win situation. You're trying to make a little bit of compromise here and there and trying to make a win-win situation for both the parties. That is how you will be able to empower your own team. And once you have started doing it, your team will also follow it. Now you may ask me that, okay, it's good, it sounds good that your team should have a brain to empower. If you want to empower your team, empower your team, you should have a brain. Brain means bridging, rationalizing, asserting, inspiring, and negotiating. But how do you really do that? How do you really bridge that gap? So you can bridge that gap by using by having a simple shift of statements which you usually say. Okay. You can start asking your team that, can I ask you a question? How have you exactly done this, or why do you want to do this way? Okay. Rather than passing statements that she's not good at all, or she's not I knew she won't be able to do it. You can ask your team member, or he will do it. Like, you can ask your team member, can I ask you a question? Why do you really did it? Why do you do it? Why do you do it this way? Can you please help me understand? Or you can also say them that, oh, great, whatever you have done is great. Here's a suggestion. What if we do it this way? Or what if we introduce this particular element in the work which we have done? What will happen consequently is they will listen to your view. Okay. And you will also be in a position where you are able to listen to others' views and ideas. Because once you get to understand their views, then only you'll be able to make a stand that is it a good idea or a bad idea. Before you know it, before you have heard it, you won't be able to. And if you are making a judgment, if you're passing a judgment before even listening to what the ideology behind is, you might take a wrong decision. Influence by uniting or connecting with others. Influence your team members by connecting them with the right resources, maybe, okay, or the right people who can help them get the work done. Okay, this is not getting into their work, but this is just assisting in helping them to get their work done. Listen to others' views or ideas, rely on personal relationships, have faith on your personal relationships. Second way of empowering your team was rationalizing them. Okay, how do you actually rationalize? How do you actually rationalize your team or empower them with rationalization? So you, uh, okay, there can be multiple points, there can be multiple data points which is available with you. Okay, you would be making decisions based on some of the data points which are given to you by the client, by your boss, by your manager, by the CEO or CFO of an organization. There would be some data points which would be coming from that way. There would be some data points which you would have seen across on different platforms, maybe. Okay. So you can introduce those data points. You can give that context to your team members as well. You can state it in ways that see the researchers show that India and US are the most AI are having the highest population of people who are interested in knowing more about AI and using that generative AI and using that. Okay, that is what researchers are showing. So can we use that research data point over here? Or based on that particular research, what you are stating seems to be something contradictory. You can use it that way. Rationalize, give logics to your team so that next time able, they will take care or they will cater that particular logic beforehand, before even they ask you for a review. Because you have told that where is it coming from, or you're giving them the context, the facts, the logics, the reasons to convince them. Okay. You can also you can state it in a way that XYZ percentage of ABC is this is much. So how can um how can DEF be 100%, let's say. Okay. Or let me state the case for you. You can reframe the problem statement at times. This would help you leverage facts, logics, expertise, and experience as well. Your experience will get portrayed to your team members when you rationalize, when you give logics to them, when you give context to them. They will be able to understand where you are coming from better. And for the next time, they will beforehand take decisions, take into consideration logics. They will cater, they will factor in different reports or researches even before you have asked them to, or even before you have pointed it out. That's how you train your team to work together. Asserting, I think we should do this. Or you can say, what I expect from you was that you are going to give me a list of XYZ. But what you have actually done is you have given me the dump of XYZ. Can you please help me with getting what was asked alone? Okay. Again, this would help them to get perspective. Also, it would help them to understand the clear framework or the scope of what is expected out of them. Okay. So next time they would start clearing off or removing off what is not expected of them, or they will be working in a targeted or focused manner. Okay. So rely on personal confidence, rules, and authority. If you have the authority, there is no problem having the authority to say no or say yes. You should use that. If you're not using that, you would you would at the end be someone who does not have a stand. To become a leader, it is extremely important to have a stand. And once you start having stand, your team will be clear about what they want, what you want, and they would also start having a stand. That was if let us say there is an audit scenario whereby the article is going and saying that balance confirmation. I want to balance reconciliation, bank reconciliation, whereby there is no difference. If you as a team lead has a stand that I don't want any difference in the bank reconciliations, they would, and you communicate the same to your team as well, they would also ask for the same to the auditee. They would also not sacrifice for 100 rupees difference or 1,000 rupees difference. If you took a stand that okay, till 100 rupees difference for bank reconciliation, it's fine for me. If the bank reconciliation has a difference of let's say more than 1,000, then that is not at all acceptable. That has to be cleared off. The your team member is going to ask the auditee in that same manner, in that same tone. Your team members are representing you, so you should if they are not able to do the work properly, it means that you have not given your reflection, your perspective to them clearly. So rely on personal confidence of what this person is capable of or not capable of, and then accordingly use your statements. Rely on rules, rely on authority, challenge ideas even when others disagree. Challenging ideas does not mean disrespecting others, but challenge ideas even when others disagree. Debate. Have have fruitful debates. Question and counter question things. That's completely fine. That would help them to have different perspectives. Hmm, sorry. The third tool to empower your team is inspiring them. Okay. You can you can create scenarios. You can help them create scenarios. You can help them suggest that imagine what will happen if we are able to actually achieve this particular target. Now, let's say, okay, I'll give you an instance. You can motivate them with the possibilities. Okay, if let's say over here, whoever is representing the chartered accountancy firm, just imagine how is it going to be if if at least 10 CA firms join hands together, 10 CA firms from different domains, if they join hands together as partners or as alliance. Imagine what will happen. What can we not achieve? Now, once you start imagining, you will immediately get into analyzing, okay, what and all is going to happen here. You might also have a question in your mind that if 10 CA firms from different specialities are going to join hands together, where are the finance going to be controlled from? What all expenses and what all will be the profit sharing ratio? Is there going to be some bylaws to it? Where are we going to get clients from? How are we going to market? Okay. You will immediately start thinking about it, thinking about how it can be executed and is it possible to execute. You will also you'll also be able to think that is there any roadblock or major setback to it. which can happen. Once you think about it, then only you can explore it, you can speak about it, you can uh, think to find a solution for it. But till the time you have imagined, till the time you have not imagined at all, you have not even thought about joining hands with another CF firm or becoming partners, making 10 proprietorship firms as one single partnership firm, you won't be able to you won't be able to execute it. You will be saying that no, no, these and all is like just for the sake of saying, nothing happens. Okay. But once you start imagining it, you might find solutions and you might find ways whereby it can happen. Actually, it can happen. Okay. So what if, okay, what if this happens? What if the other CA firm says no? What if they say yes? What if there are two individuals in the same domain? What if? What if you get inspired from this particular presentation and help build and able to build an amazing team for yourself? I envision that if you apply this entire brain to build your own team, you can achieve wonders. So motivate your team members with possibilities that can be there. Connect people with sense of shared purpose. Tell them your purpose, tell them your vision, and help them connect themselves with your vision. Help them show the perspective that how they can help you achieve your purpose. Use stories, use metaphors, use the stories which inspired you. Negotiate. Okay, so like it can be possible that you cannot come to Chennai, but here's what I can do. I can conduct a webinar for you. Okay. Let's park the discussion until we get more inputs. We might be debating on a particular topic from for a very long time, and it's not moving anywhere. So you can negotiate, or you can state, or you can calm down the argument in a way saying that let's park the discussion until we get more inputs, because till the time we get more inputs, we are not able to decide on anything. Okay. Look for compromises. Look for what you can compromise. It's not about the ego issue. It's not about what you want, sure, or what you are stating is the only correct thing. Look for compromises. Make trade-offs to reach a greater outcome. Delay to discuss at a more opportune time. It's fine to find a better time to discuss this particular thing. You can always negotiate. You can always always try to find a common base, a common place where each one's interest is taken care of. So that is how the brain works: bridging, rationalizing, asserting, inspiring, and then negotiating. By the way, according to a survey, workplaces that train their employees to be collaborative had 72% increase in overall project success rates and 55% reduction in the employee turnover. So, and collaboration is also happening at ICAI. There are 3,845 sole proprietorship firms, sole practitioner firms, 66,000 sole proprietorship firms, which is 68% of the majority of the CA firms in practice, and only 26,000 partnership firms, which is roughly 28%. And if you deep dive, there are only 400 partnership firms which are having more than 10 partners. Because collaboration is a journey, it is not an end. And it takes a lot of effort to have an effective collaboration. So you will have to start small, but start taking actions. Start changing your perspective. If you want to achieve heights, you have to start small now. but it also gives a clear indication that collaboration is possible. It is possible even in our field. There are corporate form of practice, like firms which are in corporate form of practice. 211 such firms are existing there as on July 24. The numbers are increasing with the increase in the outsourcing outsourcing from US and UK firms. But what collaboration can do is the impact which you're able to see here. Together, we can achieve more, more, and even more. Let's embrace the power of collaboration for our shared success and how to do it. Okay. Now I have changed the perspective. I have changed my perspective. I've tried to empower my team. I've tried to bring more trust, bring more personal confidence in my team members. But what about the performance? Ultimately, it's about the cost benefit analysis. Ultimately, it's about the performance. Okay, so there is a question how to trust the team member that he or she understand the work, would complete the work on time, so on, or would reach me if got stuck. Okay, so building trust is not a one-time thing. Okay, building trust is not at all a one-time thing. Bringing trust, creating trust is a journey. So initially, if your team member is in initial stages, what you have to do is you have to first understand that where is it coming from. So asking them questions, that bridging that gap, that why do you think, what have you done? Or why do you think you have done it? Okay. Give them perspective that, okay, let's say you have asked one of your team member to pass an entry and they've passed a wrong entry. Okay. Your responsibility is don't go there and start shouting or pass a statement that this person do not know even how to pass an entry, even how to pass a simple entry. This person do not know even this. If you're going to say these kind of statements, you are not going to achieve the trust ever, ever. Even if it is like 10 years, you are not going to achieve that trust. How you are going to achieve that trust is you have to say them that, okay, great, what you have done is good, but you tell me one thing. Uh, this particular transaction was with person X, okay? But you have mentioned person Y's name. Why have you done that? They themselves will tell you that if there was a logic or it was a mistake. And they will remember that how and which person's name has to be taken and when and how to pass the entry next time. So next time you can trust that person. You can just see that if you give when you give the similar entry to the person next time, you can just review that is it correct this time or not. If not, you have to tell them that, see, we have discussed this last time, right? What is it? Is it having some logic? And that person would immediately say, no, 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 sorry, sir, sorry, sir. I just missed it. Okay. Third time, they're definitely going to do that correctly. And from that time onwards, you have achieved that trust for that specific entry at least. That if I say this person to pass this entry, this cannot go wrong now, right? This is how you build trust step by step. I'm taking a very small example because I do not know what exactly is your particular situation. Okay. So based on based on your experience, based on your personal relationship, you will be able to improve the trust. But for the first, if it is about trusting a newbie, you will have to become a coach, a mentor for that person. Okay. You will have to have periodical reviews. And maybe for a newbie, the reviews are going to be on a daily basis. For a person who is old, a bit old in the system, you might review their work on a weekly or on a monthly basis, depending on how much they are learning, and what is expected out of them. So that is how you actually build trust in your team. Okay, question number two. Please throw some light on how to handle interpersonal conflicts among the team members. Now, interpersonal conflicts can be for various reasons. I would like to know that what is the type of interpersonal conflict you are trying to mention over here? Is it the ego issue between two people, or is it about something else? If it is an ego issue between the two people, then um, you might involve them in some some non-office, non-productive activity, we say, but non-productive activity would mean some fun activity. Okay, some casual, personal fun activity, which a team building activity, which helps them to work together, which insists them to work together to achieve a particular target, and it does not impact the actual work as well. So you can always have like you can maybe plan for a movie night for your entire staff and ask those two people to design the entire plan or coordinate with everyone. Okay, so that's how you might help them reduce their own ego clashes or their own conflicts. If the interpersonal conflict is such that it is impacting the overarching purpose of the organization, then you will have to take some strict actions to it. Great. So, coming on the next section of the presentation, how to, everything is fine, all the personal aspects is fine, but then the most important thing over here for all of our finance professionals is the work. I think we are the only breed which do not get any part-time job opportunities. We are always full-time. Full-time is you keep aside full-time. There are roles whereby you also have to work on the holidays. There can be emergency transactions for which you have to work on holidays. We have been on off-site trips, on office on uh, trips with our office teams, whereby there were two to three people who were who were supposed to carry their systems along with them. Why? Because their work is so critical that it it cannot be skipped. It cannot be skipped even for a day. Okay. This is the kind of work which we as finance professionals do. So the most important thing for us is what's the content, what's the core, the work. So if you are building a team, it will not sustain only on the personal relationships. It will not sustain only on the trust, only on kindness, only on respect, only on collaboration. The ultimate fact is going to be numbers. The ultimate fact is going to be the performance. But the problem is when the teams are huge in size, in order, and you, as the team leader or the partner or the CFO, you might not be having that much of time to spend with each and every person. We as human have limitation. You have only 24 hours. In 24 hours, there is other personal stuff which you have to do, and then there are office hours. Even if I consider 12 hours as office hours, for those 12 hours, you have to do some of your work as well. You have to coordinate with others, and you have to focus on your team as well. Okay. So it is very much sure that you can spend personal time with 5 to maximum 10 people. Beyond 10 people, you won't be able to spend your personal time on a frequent basis. Okay. because there are a lot of other things also to be done, and the time is limited. So, how do you identify that my team is performing well or not, and who in my team is actually performing and who in my team is just showing off? So, that is done through metrics. That is done through KPIs, key process indicators. Even in the qualitative and quantitative aspects, we both know that there are two aspects of a particular performance, qualitative aspect of it and quantitative aspect of it. The performance indicators, your KPIs, your matrices, your metrics can be qualitative as well as quantitative. Okay. Let us first discuss on the qualitative, the factors which show the quality. Okay. So as we already discussed, that respect is something which each team member deserves. So there is a window. There is a model called Johari window model. Okay. There is also a proverb in Hindi called हीरे की सही पहचान जौहरी को ही होती है. Applying the same mindset, applying the same framework, every single person is a hira, every single person is a diamond. Okay. And you, as a leader, have to behave as a jury. Okay. You have to identify the real diamond in a person. Every person has different skill sets. Okay. A few skills of the person is known to everyone. It is known to him. It is known to others. So it is known to everyone. Okay. That particular window is called an open window or open skill sets. Okay. Then there is a part of the person which is known to others, but it is not known to him himself or he or she himself or herself. Okay, that is called the blind spot. Okay, or the blind window, which is not known to you, not known to your team member, but everyone else knows it about them. For example, let's say there is a person in your team after 6 o'clock. This person does not is not able to work. Okay. As soon as the six strikes, you cannot expect performance from this person. Now everyone knows it that if now I go to this person is either going to shout or going to be lazy enough to do anything. But this person himself or herself do not know it. So you as a leader have to tell him that, boss, after 6, your clock does not work. If there is something problematic with your health, please improve that. If there is something that you are, it's not about the health problem, but it's something with you, then why don't you reshuffle your work schedule? Why don't you keep post 6 o'clock only for meetings and noting down what you have to do next in the next day? So you as a jury have to identify that, discuss it with the person, and also suggest. Don't pass statements. That is the worst thing you can do to your team. Passing statements. You have to suggest them. You can give them advice. You can give them suggestions. You can give them feedbacks. You can give them critical feedbacks, but you cannot pass statements to them. If you are the person who is passing statements, your statements should always be positive. If you're passing statements, your statement should always be positive, acknowledging and appreciating your team members. Otherwise, do not pass statements. All right. So that is the blind spot. So blind spot, you can explore the blind spot of a person and help them open it for them. Okay. The third quadrant is the third window is where your team member knows something about themselves. They believe that they can perform a specific task. but anyone else do not know about it. For instance, it can be possible that your team member is good at writing. Okay, they know this particular trait of themselves, but anyone else do not know because they have never seen they've never seen them writing, or there was no such instance whereby your team member has to write a mail or something. So you have to identify that. That identification would be by discussing or over a chat, over a coffee. That, okay, what all do you do? What is there in your personal life? Maybe then they start opening up that, okay, I do this as well. I am good at photography as well. And then uh, you can either use that photography skill of your team member for yourself, for your team, for your project, or you can also encourage them to use the photography skills to harness their own skills. Okay. So improvise on their own skills, which will at least motivate them for uh, in a way that, oh my God, my boss has actually acknowledged it, and he or she is trying to help me rediscover myself. I'm going to do anything for this person. He is such an adorable person. He or she is such an adorable person. Okay, immediately the mindset shifts. The person might become much more productive in the team, much more productive on the workplace. Okay, so and the last one is things which are not known to your team member, things which are not known to any other person as well. But once you start opening up their blind spot or their unknown spot, you will automatically find that there comes a little bit of uh, unknown spot which no one knew. Neither your team member knew, neither you knew. And what comes out, the outcomes are so amazing, are so fabulous. And the trust factor which you were talking about, the trust question increase immensely. That is when you will be able to trust the person on different levels. Now you will be knowing that, okay, this person is able to do this is this. This person has this is a skill sets. Wow, that's amazing. I can maybe explore this thing. So if I give an assignment whereby there are some creatives involved, I know that this person will be able to do it. All right. So that is the qualitative aspect of performance. Okay. Now comes the quantitative aspect of performance. For the quantitative aspects of performance or improving the performance, you can use metrics or key performance indicators. Okay. So this one is just an example. So for example, a key performance indicator for a CEO should be revenue growth, chief executing officer. The key performance indicator should be revenue growth. If the company's revenue, the total revenue is moving high, it means that the CEO is doing a good job. Same way for a chief operating officer, it's project efficiency. If the project is executed in the expected cost or in the expected time, then the project is happening efficiently. So that becomes a key metric for a chief operating officer. Whereas the key performance indicator for a CFO is the EBITDA. If the EBITDA is improving, if the earning before interest, tax interest and tax before depreciation and amortization, if that is improving, sorry, earning before interest, tax, depreciation, amortization is improving, it's increasing, then it means that the CFO is doing a great job. If the revenue on equity, if the returns on equity is increasing or improving, the CFO is doing a great job. Similarly, whatever roles whatever role you have for yourself and whatever roles you have designated to your team members, design a customized KPI. Design at least 5 to 10 KPIs, key performance indicators, which indicates that, which gives a clear communication to your team members that what is expected out of them. And it states clearly that what is your standpoint, what is um what is your expectation, and how do you think about things? What is more important for you? What is the most important for you, and what is not that much important to you? That also gets clearly communicated through key process indicators. Okay. The key performance indicator, the KPI, the way the KPI is different for a CEO and for a CFO and for a CEO, the same way it will get changed for your role, whatever your role is, whatever your objective is, whatever your target is, whatever job profile or work profile you are having. Based on that, the key performance indicators for your team are also going to change and are also going to be designed. So do design the key performance indicators, not at the time of performance evaluation, but at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the job, during the finalization of the applicant. You have to define the key performance indicators from day one of the performance, so that your team members are aligned with what is expected out of them. Revisit those performance indicators, reassess that where your team members is standing in terms of that KPIs. Communicate those KPIs clearly to your team member, and communicate the your assessment as well. If in quarter one, by the end of quarter one, you have assessed that your team member is 90%, 80%, 70%, 60% on this particular in these particular parameters, communicate that to them as well, so that they can tell you that if both of you are aligned or not. If both of you are not aligned, they will tell you back that, boss, for this particular thing, so I have done that. No, I have achieved that already. If there is any problem, you can discuss it, debate it, negotiate on it. If there's no problem, they would keep in mind that, okay, I'm being dragged, so I have to improve on these particular parameters. And they will start improving on that. So by the end of the year, they will be able to achieve all the targets which were expected out of them. Okay. So introducing key performance indicators, introducing metrics, introducing performance goals, introducing team goals, team vision is extremely important, extremely important in order to become a good leader, as well as in order to create a good team which also performs, a good team which is not a team just because of the bond which they share, but also because of the performance which they create for the organization. Mentoring leaders, not members. So one of the point is that don't be Dronacharya. Who was Dronacharya? Dronacharya was a character from Mahabharata. Okay, he was the guru or the mentor of Arjun. Okay, but there is a famous story surrounding him that there was another student named Eklavya. Okay, and Eklavya wanted to learn from Dronacharya, but Dronacharya didn't accept him as a student. Eventually, what Eklavya did was he started following Dronacharya, and started following whatever he was teaching to the other students. Okay, so he sneak peeked and he saw whatever Dronacharya was doing, and he tried to reiterate it by himself. He put a statue of Dronacharya in front of him, and he started rehearsing. He started practicing as if Dronacharya is his guru and he is advising him directly. Okay. And there comes a time when there was a competition. So there were all the students of Dronacharya whom he directly taught actually, including Arjuna. Okay, including Arjun and Eklavya also participated in that particular race. And in that race, in that competition, it came out that Eklavya was equally talented as Arjun. Now, because of a lot of factors and what destiny has to take forward, Dronacharya told Eklavya that Dronacharya actually met Eklavya, okay, and Eklavya was um what do you say, generous? No, not generous. He was very happy. He became very happy that, oh my God, my teacher is coming, my guru is coming to meet me. So he bowed down in his feet and he told that Dronacharya actually appreciated Eklavya for whatever work he has done. And Eklavya was like that, sir, you only are my teacher. Till that time, Dronacharya didn't knew that Eklavya was learning from him. So Eklavya told that, sir, you are my guru. Whatever I've learned, whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm capable of doing, and whatever I've been able to do, that is all because of you. See, I have made your statue as well, and I used to rehearse in front of your statue, and I used to sneak peek and understand whatever you are telling to the other students, and on basis of that, I have been able to achieve this particular. I have been able to win this particular competition. So you are my guru, and this is the time I should give you a guru dakshina, which is the price for whatever you have taught me. So what Eklavya asked his guru to tell what does he want in Guru Dakshina. And Dronacharya asked his thumb. Sorry. So Dronacharya, Guru Dronacharya asked for the thumb of Eklavya. Without a second thought, without a second question, Eklavya gave his thumb to Guru Drona. Okay. Now, this story, in this story, although all of us would be thinking that why did it happen to Eklavya? Eklavya was a generous student. He did a lot of things. He did lot of penance to to be worthy of winning the competition. And what does he get in return? He got in return cutting off his thumb so that if like once his right thumb got cut, he won't be able to pursue archery anymore. But do you notice that this particular instance made him a leader? He was the, if this would have not happened, if Dronacharya would have asked just for some money or something, you and me would have not been remembering Eklavya till date. He's been remembered because he showed he showed the spirit of a leader. He showed the spirit of what his guru meant for him. He showed the spirit of devotion, and that made him alive till date. It's been ages and ages now, but we still listen to his story. What you and me can do is let us not be Dronacharya. Let us not be that cruel mentor who asks for the very existence of of the team member, who asks for the very existence of the person to whom you are training just because you have not trained that person in person. If someone is learning from you, from far off distance, if you are able to inspire people and they are able to achieve things better than you, don't be that person, don't be Dronacharya to make them fall down. There can be instances whereby your trainee, your team member who was a junior from you, is able to excel at what he does or what she does and able to create a much more powerful impact, able to grow much beyond you. You should be feeling proud of the person. You should feel good about having that person in your team. You should encourage your students. You should encourage your mentees. Leadership is not just about leading others, it's also about creating more leaders. Now, when you create more leaders, the fellow leaders or the leaders whom you have created might be might be having a potential for leading much more, much better than you. Accept it, embrace it, because once you accept it, once you embrace it will take you forward, it will take them forward. If you try to become a barrier for them, they will always have a grudge for you, and that negative thought, that negative um that criticism, that negative feeling for you will help you drown. You won't be able to upskill, you won't be able to upheld yourself. At deep down at the corner of your heart, somewhere you will always feel that I've done 100 good things. I'm in touch with 1,000 good people, but this particular thing, it still pinches me. ताली दोनों हाथ से बजती है. So if you are creating something negative, it is going to get back to you. It is going to remain with you forever till the time you let it go, till the time you replace it. So it's important to mentor leaders, not just members. When you're creating a team and you're creating a team with a mindset of creating more leaders, then only your team is going to be a bond which you are sharing. If you are only creating members in the team who are able to achieve a particular goal for you, for your organization, then you will also stay limited to that extent. McKinsey, PCG, Bain, these are the three most valuable consulting firms across the globe. Okay. There was an event whereby there was an event offsite, a training event being conducted for McKinsey and BCG, both at the same hotel. Okay, in one banquet hall, McKinsey was there, and in another banquet hall, BCG was there. Spox from BCG were there. So a gentleman came there. He was surprised to see that McKinsey and BCG, both of them are conducting their training sessions at one single place. What if people from McKinsey shifts to BCG, or from people from BCG shifts to McKinsey? What if they share, they trade off their secrets? Okay, so another person who was addressing this gentleman, he told that we want that our people grow to different organizations. Why? Because when our people go to different organizations, they also bring back business. How? So suppose there's a person from McKinsey. Now, this person moved out of McKinsey and joined, let's say, Johnson and Johnson, okay, as let's say CFO or CEO. Now, once he joins as CFO or CEO, there would going forward there would be some assignments whereby he would need a team to help him on. At that point of time, whom is he going to think of? If he is moved out of McKinsey, he would he would try to reach out to McKinsey and get the work done because he knows the culture of McKinsey. He knows that how things are done and they are capable of doing it or not. So this person grew. He had a personal growth. Along with his personal growth, even McKinsey had a personal growth. A lot of this thing happens with IIT IIMs as well. You will find that many founders are actually many founders or venture capitalists are actually from IIT IIMs. And because they now have become successful, they go back to their colleges and bring more, uh, uh, employ more people from their colleges. It happens because you had a trust, you have a trust that this person has created me. So this person can create many more like me. If I want something to be done, this is the person whom I have to approach. So you should be focusing on not creating the members in your team. You should be focusing on creating leaders in your team. And there is one more reason to it. Once you are creating leaders, you become a super leader. There are many organizations whereby when you start initially, you are more focused on executing the work, executing the work, executing. Once you move up the ladder, you become a manager for the executing staff. But over here, you were so like till now, you were just executing the work. You know how to execute work, how to get the work executed. Okay. But you do not know how to create leaders. Now, from manager, you will either stay at the same level because you are not able to portray the skills of a leader, the skills of becoming a higher manager whom the company can trust for critical decisions. Once you become manager, you are dealing with a lot of people. You are not the executor anymore. If you think that you are working day and night and you are executing a lot of work, your team's work also you are doing. You are the one who is doing your team's work also. You are not doing the right thing. You have been assigned a team so that you can get your work done by your team. You're not assigned team to do it yourself. If you're doing it yourself, there are high chances that you won't be able to move up the corporate ladder as a leader. You might get stuck at some levels. All right, but let us know that how do you really mentor leaders and not members of your team only. Last but not the least, I would I would give you I'll show you a video. Okay, so just give me a moment. Are you able to see the screen? All right. I hope everyone was able to see that entire video. Now I'll tell you what was it about. So what happened in a few African countries, what happened was there was a rumor about Pizza Hut that they are selling frozen pizza. The pizza base for Pizza Hut is frozen pizza, and they just do the topping over it and give you a pizza in the store. This came to the ears of Pizza Hut, and Pizza Hut decided to launch a campaign whereby they they actually put Pizza Hut boxes, okay, Pizza Hut labeled boxes, branded boxes in the stores, in the departmental stores, saying that these are the frozen pizzas. They also sent it to a few good influencers just to showcase that they do not make frozen pizza. Just to remove that rumor, they addressed that rumor. If you are a leader and you are at a leadership position, it is extremely important to address and acknowledge the perspective people are having for you. You cannot change the perspective just by making statements that no, no, I do not know. Just imagine if Pizza Hut would have just said that no, 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 we do not have frozen pizza. Would you believe it? No. Would people believe it? No. In fact, this rumor would have picked up fire that, oh, Pizza Hut is making a statement, but they are having a frozen pizza. Their base is frozen, their base is not good, and all those things. What they did was they acknowledged that there is a problem. They acknowledged that what perception people are having for them. And they showcased that how important it is for them, how important it is for them to have a freshly baked pizza every single time. Then they send the boxes to influencers, and in the boxes, they kept a discount coupon whereby their first Pizza Hut pizza was completely free for them. It is not just a marketing stunt, but there is a lot to learn from this particular instance as a leader. As a leader, as a brand, if we want to have our own personal brand, if we want people to trust in us, it's trust is not just about trusting others. It's also about creating trust for ourselves. If we want people to trust us, it's extremely, extremely important to acknowledge what perspectives they are having. And do you resonate with those perspectives? If you do not resonate with those perspectives and it is bothering you, you have to take steps. And that step should be elaborating, should be expressing, and it should not be just a statement. And in my entire presentation, I've been saying this repeatedly multiple times. As leader, you don't have to pass statements. You have to give solutions. You have to give perspectives. You have to explain. You have to elaborate. You cannot simply pass statements. If you are someone who is passing statements alone, be cautious about it, acknowledge it, and try not to pass statements from the next time. The key is to acknowledge. If you are doing a mistake, acknowledge that you are doing a mistake so that you try to take steps where you do not do that again. Okay, all right. So it's already 1:46. I would like to take some more questions if there are any. If you guys are having any questions or doubts, please feel free to write it in the question box. I would love to answer those questions. And you can always let me know if you need any other assistance or help with me. I'm right there. You can always reach out to me and I would be there. to resolve your issues. Sambit sir, is there anyone from tech team or Dhanbad branch? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Are there any questions? We can take up the questions now, I think.
Anyone have any question? Please, have any question, please put to the ma'am so that we can move forward.
गिरीश जी प्लीज चेक कि किसी का क्वेश्चंस कुछ है क्या.
Question is already been shared in the chat box.
So after that also, there was a lot of discussion. If there are any fresh questions, you can please let me know.
No, there are no questions.
Okay, great then.
Then we can proceed further. I think. Yeah, we can wait 2 minutes if anyone will ask any questions.
Eh, So today we have taken into consideration. Let us have a small recap and summary of what we have done and learned today. What we have learned is the trick to create a successful team. So trick stands for trust, respect, independence, collaboration, and kindness. Whereby kindness, which comes at the last, is the most important thing in all, and which takes cover of all these four elements. Okay. Then we have also gone through the umbrella setup, which means that as a leader, as a person who is building a team, you should always try to protect the identity, protect the integrity of your team members, give them exposure, have a stand, but always be there to protect them whenever required. We also, a third thing which we learned is the levels of collaboration. There are different levels of collaboration, which starts from networking, cooperation, coordination, coalition, and collaboration. The difference between these is majorly the decision making. So networking, the decision making is completely independent. Cooperation, the decision making is completely independent. But in coordination, you start when you start making shared decisions, you are actually coordinating with each other. Coalition is when you have a voting system in your decision making. If there are majority of the votes is towards the yes, then you go ahead with yes. That is a coalition setup of collaboration. But collaboration in essence is whereby every single member of the team is giving their consent for the decision. Then we also studied about how do we really empower our team. That is by using the brain. Brain is bridging the gap, rationalizing, asserting your belief system, asserting what you are expecting, inspiring others by making them imagine things or seeing the probability or possibilities, and negotiating with your team members so that you and the team member both are at a win-win situation. We we also saw an instance of how important it is to demonstrate your belief system with an example of Pizza Hut. Okay, the Pizza Hut and the ad campaign which Pizza Hut actually launched. And we learned about the importance of having matrices and KPIs. We learned about the Jory window, whereby we can explore the potential of our team members. And we also understood that how and why should we not become Dronacharya and instead create much more leaders, not just members in our team. With this, I would like to sum up this entire presentation. Still, if there are any questions or doubts, I would request I would request the audience to please put that in the question box so that we can take it forward. And I appreciate people who have already asked questions because when you ask questions, then only you will be able to find answers. If you do not ask question at all, you won't be able to find your answers and you will keep on struggling. Thank you so much for asking the questions. I would appreciate if there are more questions to be answered.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And now
Thank you,
I
Rahulji.
think it's time to conclude. So
Sure.
I would like to welcome C.A. Shashank Sekhar Jaiswal, our secretary, to give vote of thanks to the audience.
Thank you, Rahul, for giving me the opportunity to deliver vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion. It has been such an honor to be part of this wonderful webcast on team management skill for chartered accountant, organized by Professional Skill Investment Committee (ICAI). On behalf of the Professional Skill Investment Committee (ICAI), we would like to extend our heartiest gratitude to our speaker, CA Nidhi Milnani, for her enlightenment session. Sincere thanks to the event enabler for from the Dhanbad branch of CIFC of the ICI who enabled the webcast throughout. A wide round of applause and thanks to the organizer, Professional Skill Enhancement Committee ICI, our today's speaker, CA Nidhe Milnani, and other stakeholders made the webcast a memorable one. Finally, we would like to thank all our present here and helping us making this webcast a grand success. Thank you, one and all.
Rahulji, you're on mute.
Thank you so much, Nidhi ma'am, and thank you so much, Shashank ji. I would like to now request, lastly, Nidhi ma'am, to please circulate the PPT that she has presented so that it can be circulated among the participants also.
Sure. I have to share it to on this chat box, or how do you want me to share it?
Ma'am, you can share to the Samvit Mishra Search Committee and
Okay.
they will share.
Okay. All right. Works. All
Thank
right.
you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.